We really never know this part. I mean, it's just kind of just here for it.
Then all of a sudden.
We are live. All right, welcome to Friday Night Fish Talk's pregame show. I have Tyler here from Pete's Pier. We have Captain Louie at the Tackle Table Talk tonight. We have good old Captain Zach at the Casting Couch. Going to be talking a little bit of fishing today. But to start it off, we have pretty cool news. We have Captain Tyler himself here from Pete's Pier, and going to be introducing the King of the Bay Fishing Tournament.
Yeah, so we got a King of the Bay Fishing Tournament going on November 12th and 13th. We're going to have a big festival. Captain is that Friday. And then the tournament takes place on Saturday. We got 2 divisions this year, $19,000 in the prizes. It's going to be a good tournament. It's going to be a good festival, tons of music, food, arts and crafts. It's going to be a great time.
So what all are we fishing for in this tournament?
So the first category is a combined weight of 1 redfish and 2 trout.
Very nice, very nice.
And then the other division is the biggest gag grouper.
Like to hear that.
That's the new division. So $5 grand first place gag, 10 grand first place for the redfish and trout.
It's going to be an awesome tournament.
Great.
Last year was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what this year brings as far as the tournament. When it comes to tonight with our Reel of Fortune, we will have an awesome question for you, so do stay tuned for that to get your name on the Wheel of Fortune. Have a great giveaway coming from Tyler here at Pete's Pier for the fishing tournament itself.
It's going to be a great time. Hope to see y'all there.
Absolutely. Definitely looking forward to this fishing tournament. It's going to be an awesome show tonight. Have some pretty cool things to introduce to y'all. Got a good amount of stuff. How do I go about that?
Don't give anything away.
What's that?
Don't give anything away.
I know. I just keep it mighty vague.
You can't talk. You can't talk very much.
What about the awesome intro?
Oh yeah, we do have an awesome intro to introduce to you guys. Can't wait to hear it. A lot of work went into it behind the scenes with Bree and Sean, and can't wait to hear this whole thing play out. And hopefully you guys will enjoy the intro video to the new Friday Night Fish Talk.
They absolutely killed it.
Yeah, a lot of fun to make it.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't have me ramping my boat into the sawgrass.
There's no promises to that. No promises to that.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
I am ready to go to that intro. Let's see it.
Let's roll it.
Beyond the woods, down the twists and the turns, through the marsh lies the knowledge needed to fish the nature coast.
Dude, he came all the way out of the water.
This is Friday Night Fish Talk.
Welcome back to Friday Night Fish Talk, guys.
Wow.
Bad, I'm telling you, it's terrible.
Long day.
Captain Gary's over here getting his nose powdered, so he'll be with us in just a moment. If he will ever, well, we'll see. But yeah, I cannot get with it for the whole verbal aspect of this.
Drink another beer.
Is Jordan making you nervous?
Yeah, I think it's our live audience over here.
All right. Welcome to Friday Night Fish Talk, presented by
Phillips
Auto
Group.
Phillips Auto Group. So first of all, before we get into the show, which is probably going to be one of the better shows we've ever had,
Looking forward
really
to it.
excited about this. Guys, if you are ready to learn information and actually obtain it,
Yeah.
this is the stuff you're going to want to learn. You know, this is what separates the experts and
Your weekend warriors.
Your weekend warriors.
That's
The
the word.
information
Else.
tonight. What?
Me from everyone else.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. So we got your weekend
We can go that
warriors
route,
app
yes.
over there, and then. But before we get into that, so super excited. Phillips Auto Group, thanks to Louie, Zach, they're going to be doing a mud boat tournament here
That's gonna
in
be
February.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Really, really excited about it. We just started coordinating everything. So, and then that whole Phillips Auto Group team It's an eternal tournament.
Yeah.
Then they're all going to join us for Friday Night Fish Talk.
That's going to be awesome.
So,
You know, my favorite part about this whole thing, being out there with the mud boaters, is me on the airboat with the camera filming.
Yeah.
Because I know they're going to love it.
yep. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. Whatever captain pays you the most money not to do
That's
circles.
exactly it.
So, guys, we're super excited about tonight's show. Like I said, we've got some new apparel that we're going to be officially introducing.
Pretty comfortable stuff, got to
It's
say.
very, very comfortable. And Billy, first of all, did you, I don't know, were you watching me like pick out my shirt for today, or?
I just happened to predict it about 9 hours before you that you were going to be wearing the same shirt.
Oh.
So it was pretty cool.
That's all right, man.
Got lucky.
It makes you look better right now. So, but and then Zac Zachry is going to be doing his old freestyle Zac Zachry 14-hour and 32-minute fishing report tonight, giving away all the secrets.
All of them.
All the secrets. So we'll see what hate emails we get after that segment. And the Captain Louie over there at the Bush Home Services Tackle Table Talk is talking about tackle on the table. And
As soon as you want one of these shirts, come on in and get one.
Yep.
They are for sale downstairs.
Oh yeah, we have we just got the whole thing set up downstairs, Brian.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot more coming too. So like what we got in already is kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's like our first true apparel.
It's pretty sweet stuff. Yeah. And I can't wait to see what else they have and the stuff that's coming in the future with it between us and them. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, no, it is really exciting. And for those lucky enough to actually get one of these special shirts, Brody thought it'd be funny for all the pocket ones. He started putting live shrimp in some of the pockets. So that's going to be included with the purchase of one of these
Stuff like
shirts.
that
But
just doesn't wash out.
let's talk about those shirts here in a little bit, and pants and shorts and hats and everything else. We'll get to that here in a little bit. But without further ado, real quick, what did you guys think about the new intro video? Did you guys get to watch it? No, you didn't really get to hear it, but
We didn't get to hear it.
did you see Louie's? I think did you?
I did.
Work with his mom to get that photo?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it was good. It was good.
Everybody else did though.
Yeah, it's huge. But that being said, let's go over to the Ayinde Matthews State Farm casting couch. The
With the one and
world
only.
famous. I don't even know what else to say about you, Captain Zac Zachry from Tried and True Outdoor Adventures.
How's it going? Is Billy coming over here and doing his airboat talk with me too? Or is it just me on here?
No, yeah. If you want to go ahead and go over there,
I'll
yeah.
join you.
Yeah. So
Everybody always loves me on the casting couch with you.
it'll be good because when you get
Well, I got
into
some
your
questions for him.
post and pre
Oh
front
boy,
setup.
Yes.
So yep.
Yes, exactly.
Take it away.
All right, guys. We're getting into my favorite time of year when it cools down for multiple reasons. Number one, it's really comfortable out there.
It's very nice out there. You
You're
can
not-
actually enjoy a day of fishing without breaking a sweat.
Yeah, you're not sitting there sweating bullets. You wake up. I wake up about 5:30 in the morning. You go outside. It's brisk. It's cool.
Yes.
I'm wanting breakfast. Summertime. I'm sweating. I'm not wanting breakfast.
Don't even want dinner at that point.
It's exactly how the fish are. They're going to be, eating a lot better this time of year. There's a lot more fish. And then my favorite fish in the world really shows up, and that's the speckled sea trout. I absolutely love them. I love fishing for them. I love eating them. I like looking at them. Anything to do with them.
They are moving in very nicely too.
I'm all about it. So we're going to start. I'm going to go from trout, and then I'm going to go to redfish, and then I'm going to go over to snook, and I'm going to start each of those, pre-front or when it was warm, and then transitioning into our colder months. And so if you guys remember a few weeks ago, really, really hot, those trout, you were catching them, but you just weren't catching them in big numbers. You were getting them out in deeper water, out on the foul area, anywhere between 4 to 8 feet of water, typically throwing some kind of soft plastics. My go-to, everybody knows, watermelon red Little John, either a
Hard to get
quarter
away from
ounce
that.
or 1/8 ounce jig head, a little bit of leader. And now they're moving into a lot shallower water. We're catching them from, a foot of water all the way out to 3-4 feet of water. And I'm starting to throw more of the DOA cow, the 5.5, glow jerk bait.
Yep.
Great bait. And I'm getting away from those jig heads solely because these fish are in that shallower water now.
There's no reason to have to go hitting the bottom for it.
Exactly. And that's my favorite bite. You can see those fish come up to the surface and eat that artificial. It's absolutely amazing. So, like I said, they've gone from out in deeper water into shallower water. You guys can catch them literally from Yankeetown all the way down to Chaz. And then like we were talking about last week on the Florida Marine tracks, you guys are basically just going to be looking for that golden bottom.
Yep.
If you can find golden bottom with that kelp grass in it. For you guys didn't watch last week, golden bottom is like a mixture of rock, sand, a little bit of coral.
It's your harder lime rock bottom.
Exactly.
And it does stick out quite a bit from the grass beds.
Yeah,
it is a huge difference.
That's exactly it. And then the ticket is, if you can find some kelp in there, this time of year there's going to be trout in there, and they're going to be in that kelp from now until it gets real cold. When it gets real cold, they're going to push into the way back into the mangroves. This time of year, if you're live bait fishermen, there's still a bunch of pinfish, but you can get away with live shrimp on a popping cork, either just with a regular hook through the tail or through the head. We all hook them differently. Or you can put a jig head on there so you can cast a little bit further, keeps it down in the water column a little bit more. And then tried and true way is going to be your pinfish. That's great, floating pinfish through there. Or if you're on a really good bite, you can just free line pinfish versus having them on a cork.
You're using the smaller pins for those, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make
about
them
the
smaller.
size of your index finger if you have a normal size index finger, Billy, yours is like, grouper bait, but anywhere between like 1 inch and 2 inches long, I would say, for your pinfish, for the trout. I like saving that 2.5, 3.5 inch for your redfish and stuff like that.
Yeah, wait till you get to the mangroves for those.
Yep, exactly. And then for our redfish, guys, all summer long, those redfish are all on those outside points. You're looking for mullet, you're looking for a lot of moving water, everything like that. When it's hot, it's starting to cool down. There's still fish on those outside mangroves, but what I would start targeting is moving back in those mangroves a little bit. Not really, really far by any means, but get back in a couple small creeks, stuff like that. I always go in there on a low tide, really keep your eyes open, looking at the banks, looking for the mullet, and then this time of year, look for those pushes too with that low water. You see those pushes, if it's a big push, you know that's going to be a redfish and it's not going to be a mullet. You see it all the time on the airboat.
That's my favorite thing to find because I can find those, every bit of 100, 150 yards out. You can just watch them on the mangroves and buzz over there with the boat and get to see them. It's a beautiful sight. Some of the size of those redfish that are out there pushing.
I was going through an area yesterday, and I'm running along. I was in the Go Devil. It was really low, and I literally thought it was a big old push of porpoise, like
Really?
from a distance,
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what the heck? I was going to go show my clients. I drive over there, huge school redfish, really, really cool. Actually, something really neat I saw today. I was running out to the foul area today to do some spear fishing, and again, I see this huge push. I drive over to it, and I swear to you, there were between 800 to 1,000 black drum. No
You're
joke.
not the first person that told me about the big school of black drum
I'm
moving out there.
talking giant.
That is awesome.
They were in about 5-6 foot of water, and you were they were stacked from the bottom all the way to the surface. Really, really cool.
Yeah, that'd be a heck of a sight to see out there.
So basically, your transition from summer into winter, we're right smack in the middle of it right now. Those redfish, like I said, they're still going to be on those outer keys, but they're starting to move, into those mangroves, into the mangrove creeks and stuff like that. So I would start, maybe start on the outside during a low tide, and then start pushing your way in, and you should be able to get on a good bite. Bait of choice, still, there's too many pinfish for me to use shrimp for them, unless I'm on a good school of fish. So I'm going to be using, cut mullet. While you're trout fishing on the real low tide, you'll catch those lizard fish. I use chunk those lizard fish up for bait.
You
And
were
then
just telling me yesterday about those lizard fish. You said they're a lot easier to toss out there, too.
For some reason, they don't like the head, but every other part of it, man, they tear it up. Pretty cool.
Very cool.
And then for your snook, they're still basically going to be all in the same areas they have been. But
Still
you're
a
gonna,
lot of them at the reef right now.
oh, really?
I find 3 times more snook than I am redfish out there on the reef.
That's awesome.
Yeah, beautiful amount of them.
Our snook population's been rising and rising and rising. It's
It
amazing.
has to. There's a lot more than last year, and every year it just keeps getting
It's
plentiful.
crazy. So that's pretty much got it covered, guys, with your transition. So everything's going to start moving from that deeper water into shallow water. They do that because that water temperature gets cooler, and they're looking for warmer water, essentially.
Well, that, and they're going to start to get out of that clear water at the same time. When it starts to get really cold, they want that murkier water that does tend to warm up quicker. So I notice at the reef in the dead of winter, it's ghost town.
Oh, yeah.
Until I start to get into the muddy rivers.
Yep.
You know, playing into the backcountry.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, there's my big pushes that I've been missing for weeks.
The science of fishing is absolutely amazing. You know, I mean, from full moons to, you know, different tides, king tides, that has something to do with the full moon, cold fronts coming through.
Oh, yeah.
All that kind of stuff. You know, and sometimes it can be honestly overwhelming, even for a full-time guide. And what's
a lot of homework.
What's really cool is we've got the man, the myth, the legend. You ready for this? Captain Jeff Page himself is going to. He's definitely one of the top guides on this coast. Been doing it longer than probably all of us here combined. So he's going to share a lot of his knowledge about full moon fishing, you know, new moon fishing, everything in between. You know, post cold fronts, king tides. I mean, anything, you know, that he can go over, he's going to go over.
You know, Zach, I'm excited for the viewers tonight, but I'm equally excited for us.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is stuff that we all battle against. We all try to figure out. We all, you know, just try to search and talk. But we have, like you said, I mean, he is the top. I mean, I keep saying one of the top. I think personally he's the top redfish tournament angler in the state of Florida. He's probably got more wins than anyone
amazing.
combined. He came here. Billy and I got to fish with him and his partner, Billy the Kid,
Yeah.
Billy Allstrom.
That was a lot of
and,
fun.
you know, he taught us stuff about fishing our area on the first day.
Yeah.
You know, first time he's ever fished our area, he taught us like so much.
That's
Just
So
watching the
I'm
way he
really,
fished it was
really
like-
excited to, you know, pick his brain and, you know, talk to him about, you know, this is the season of change.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so, or not a political change, but the season of, you know, help me out here, guys.
Our leaves here are going to be changing
Tides,
soon.
you know, everything. So, but Sean, we ready to bring Captain Jeff on the big screen here? All right. So we haven't done this one in a while.
Can you all hear me?
There's that beautiful
What's
face.
happening,
We've got
Captain?
you, Captain Jeff. How you doing, sir?
Can you guys hear me?
We
We
hear you.
can
Can
hear
you hear
you.
us?
Hello? Yeah, I hear
Sean, you gotta
guys
plug
loud
that
and
in.
clear.
Okay. Jeff, can you hear us?
Yeah, perfect.
1 second. Sean's
Hello?
working on some audio stuff. Real quick, Jeff. All right, how about now? So let me check this out real quick. I tell you what, Zach, keep going over. I don't know
Hello,
if
are you there?
Talked about the like new winters and or the new temperature changes coming. You know, what's your feeling on? You know, do those fish start moving now, or do they wait for the cold fronts?
Hello.
Yeah, how do you...
I'll knock on the window so they can see me.
Yeah.
What? Oh, switch it. Switch to Zach.
There we go. Guys, yes, those fish are going to slowly start moving right now. With every single cold front that's going to be coming through, it's going to push those fish further and further in, specifically your trout. Your trout do not like really, really cold water.
Most
That's why.
sensitive of the fish.
I'm sorry?
One of the most sensitive of the fish.
100%, man. Temperature change has everything to do with where a trout's going to go. I mean, if they had their choice, they would probably, you know, stay in that 3 to 5 foot range their entire life. You know, they've got plenty of water, run around, hide from stuff. They got plenty of structure out there, everything like that. You know, I mean, personally, if I were a trout, I wouldn't want to live my entire life where an osprey can just snatch me out of the water, you know. So basically, like I said, every single cold front that's going to be coming through is going to be pushing those fish further and further in.
Oh, yeah.
Just like you were saying before, you know, those fish will completely leave the reef, and you look at that bottom there, and, you know, it's a bright bottom, reflects light. It's not going to retain, it will retain heat, but it's not going to retain
Not
as
like the
much
black
heat
bottom will.
as that mud bottom.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when it gets real cold, guys, I get into bays and creeks, whether they're, you know, way in the creeks or whether they're right out on the coast, and you're looking for specifically that dark colored bottom, that black mud, and, you know, that sun's going to penetrate down through the water and radiate that heat onto that mud. and those fish will literally go up on that stuff as shallow as they can get just to keep warm, and they will literally lay their bellies right on the bottom to suck up as much heat as they
That's why I
possibly
enjoy
can.
running the airboat a lot in Mud Creek and Game Creek specifically. I don't see a whole lot of fishermen through there, even in the wintertime, and the amount of fish that are just sitting on those mud banks is pretty awesome. I mean, a lot of the times, like I explained to some of the guides last year, for some of these rivers I was running, I'd hit into a little dip of a pothole, feel the boat drop, and just see fish blow out of it to where they're halfway out of the water trying to make it to the next pothole.
It's awesome.
It's pretty cool stuff.
And the redfish, they're more cold tolerant, you know, so I mean, you're still going to find those redfish, you know, on your medium and high tides at the same kind of areas you're going to find them on the outside. And I'm saying that like, you know, your rock bottom, oyster bars, some kind of structure. When the tide gets low, you know, they'll drop into holes and stuff like that. But your redfish, you can kind of catch them still, you know, from that main mangrove line in, you're going to be catching redfish all throughout the winter, but those trout really push.
Hey, Jeff, can you hear us now by chance?
I've heard you guys the whole time.
All right,
Hey,
there
now
we
we
go.
hear
Now
you.
we
How
can
you
hear
doing, Jeff?
you, though. That's the more important part. So
Okay,
we're not.
good.
Listen, Jeff, we're not the Florida Insider. All right, we're a couple of rednecks that just learned this audio and.
You've hung
what's
out
it
with
called?
us
AV
before,
stuff.
you know.
So Jeff, what's real quick, we know what's going on. Zach just did a really great report of what's going on, up here in the Crystal River and Ozello fishing area. He talked about the post and pre-fronts. Is it similar down there in your region? Tampa, Sarasota. I believe you go down to Fort Myers. Is it affected like it is up here when you get that 60-degree cold front that comes through and you get those east winds and low tides? Does it change the fishing as much as it does here?
Yeah, but the fronts that we've had, or whatever you want to call them, haven't done that enough yet. The shorter days and the cooler nights have actually probably dropped the water temperature more than any front. I saw 80 degrees today, and it had been up in the 85, 86.
Yeah, it's a good drop.
Oh, wow.
And then, so once it starts getting down into the 70s, like I think about low 70s, 72, 70, then those fish will really start moving because they know that it's not going to go back up. But it's still 80. There's still a lot of fish out. Remember now, we have an actual barrier island and a beach line, whereas your beach begins wherever. There is no beach.
Yeah.
Not much of one here.
Your Gulf begins and ends at those outer islands.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you walk on our beaches here, you're cutting your feet.
Right. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
That being said, so that when fish come in off the beach, they have to go into a pass and then work their way up into bays and back creeks and estuaries and something that y'all don't have a lot of, like concrete seawall canal systems.
Mm-hmm.
That's just keeping it simple. But there's a lot on Longboat Key, Siesta Key, lots of concrete canal systems that hold. I think it was Zach, one of y'all, talking about how the mud and the rocks hold the heat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have so many people here. These concrete seawalls hold the heat very well. And if there's a place that they're comfortable going back into, they'll go there every winter when it gets cold. That being, when I say them, the snook, the redfish, not so much the trout. Our trout seems to live out better in that grass and mud than they do back in the protected canal systems, unless it gets, real cold like it did in 2010. Then the trout were even back in the canal systems. But a normal winter, that trout, he don't go that far from where he is in the summer around here.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's opposite of here. That's
very
pretty
opposite.
wild.
And you were talking
But remember, remember, you guys, we don't have that miles to go before you can sleep.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you leave the boat ramp, you guys have to work your way out to those outer islands. you leave the boat ramp on the east side of the bay where I live, you can be in the Gulf of Mexico going out an inlet in 5 minutes.
Yeah, wide open waters from
It's
there.
just, it's a different lay of the land and not near the tidal creeks and estuaries like you and I were talking the other day, Gary. Them spring fed creeks that y'all have hundreds of. We have in Sarasota Bay, I think there's Whitaker Bayou, Philippi Creek, Bowley's Creek, and then nothing until you get up to that big Manatee River. Now that is a gold mine because that's just big fresh water pumping out.
Jeff, do you remember I think, I want to say on this day, it was just you, Billy Armstrong, Billy the Kid, and myself, and we were on your Pathfinder, and we were back in Fish Creek, which is pretty close to our marina, just north of St. Martin. And you and Billy were very intrigued with that pass system, and I learned so much from you all that day, and it got cold. We had a huge front come through.
Yeah, that was a cold one.
Yeah, it got real cold, and that was we were specifically going to target redfish. I wanted to show you guys there are some big redfish here, and you taught me to fish those drop-offs on the banks, which I've never thought of. I've always hit mud holes in the backcountry, stick to the flats, and you guys taught me to fish that drop-off, and Billy the Kid especially. When I explained to him how that Fish Creek works as that channel through there, he was keyed in on it.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Now on that day, again, I want to say it was 2 days before you all got here, we had that big cold front come through, lost all that water. Are those fish seeking that deeper channel just because there's no water? Are they seeking it for warmth? What was your kind of take on that day?
I'd probably say a little bit of both, and probably because there's something there they can eat.
It's
That redfish.
in that deeper water for that.
Yeah, well, we won a big tournament back in January that was on Facebook, and we knew we had it. We knew it because there was a big front coming, and the second day first day everybody caught it. It was real close, but it was a 2-day tournament, and the second day it was 25 out of the north. We had these redfish up in a dang canal system, up in people's backyards, docks and canals, and they were all in a big bunch, and it was pretty easy. But again, it was because it got so cold so quick, and they had little baits back there, I don't know if they were little anchovies or glass minnows. They weren't shiners, but they had a lot of bait back there they could eat, and it was nice, protected.
And
they stayed back there a couple weeks.
Zach, Louie, let's pick this apart for a second, actually. He just said something, I always wonder why fish might drop into troughs or potholes. If you think about when we get that real sudden cold front that comes through, we lose the water, what's the one thing besides fish that you hardly see out in the flats? Bait.
Yeah.
They've got to go somewhere. It's not like they just disappear. Do they drop into those troughs? And, like Captain Jeff said, they're looking for food.
Well, think about when we're fishing in the mud boats in the wintertime. Those big potholes that we fish, whether they're in the river or north of here, south of here, there's little bait in all of those.
Yeah. Tell you what, Louie, can you go to Fish Creek? That's just one of those main deep channels on the Florida Marine Track system there. Jeff, can you see the screen on your end?
No, it's tiny, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
We didn't get to it, but that Florida Marine Tracks is a game changer.
It is. We are all very, very thankful for it, and not for I always say this, yes, when you go to a new area, the tracks are really nice. I always tell people, don't depend on your tracks, depend on your research.
Yeah.
They are very accurate. Those guys have worked their butts off, but that satellite imagery is everything.
Yes. And once you learn how to really look at that, I don't have any of the lines on my screen wherever I go. I just like that, the way it really looks.
Yeah.
You're right. You would have been proud of my uglier brother over here, Billy, and I doing a tournament last weekend, I think it was.
Yeah.
Weekend before. We stayed up the night before on the Florida Marine tracks, sitting on my boat, getting eaten alive by no-see-ums. And, we were talking about, we just had that front change, I believe.
We did.
And so
Or we were going to have it.
we were
that
going to
night.
have it. That's correct. Yes. Yeah. So we were talking about where we knew we were catching fish that day, the day before when we were scouting, and we're right before a cold front. So we're kind of predicting that those fish are moving up into those channels and passes and creeks. And we because of Florida Marine tracks, we kind of created like a dot system, where we thought they were. And sure as heck, our first stop, we had some overslot fish that were real heartbreakers. I'm talking an 1/8 inch, Jeff, 1/8 inch over.
Right.
But, we were successful because of our planning and really because of Florida Marine tracks. So, but
I do have a question for you, Jeff. If come to a cold front situation, if that cold front was going to come on like a Thursday, say the middle of the week, what day from Monday to Sunday would you rather fish knowing that front is going to hit that Thursday?
Well, everybody wants to fish the day before, but it just depends on how hard that south blows.
Right, what the wind directions
sometimes
are
that
on
south blows bad, but usually if you can get a pattern out of the wind a little bit that day before when it's still blowing hard out of the south, that's some good fishing.
it. Yeah.
Some of my best days are like, 2 days after that front,
Yeah.
because they hadn't been eaten or anything like that, and then they really fire up,
And I always talk about this whenever someone comes here and we just had a cold front and, they say, Gary, is it worth going out? Yeah, I mean, any day on the water is worth going out, first of all. But I don't know. I need to go back and look, and I say it every time I get asked this question. I feel like the high tide always falls in the afternoon after a full moon. So, I mean, it's,
Like you said, I'd have to go back and double check that.
Yeah, but
That's how it works.
I mean, is that
Yeah.
so the full moon's drawn?
Hot, big incoming, big outgoing. It's going to most likely be at the end of the day.
End of the day. So, I don't know, Zach, you got mud boats. Louie got mud boats. Jeff and I were talking yesterday. Jeff, when does that skinny water fishing where you're talking about getting the waders and you get the waders on your clients and you actually walk around and fish in your region? When does that officially
November,
start?
end of November, beginning of December.
So, I mean, sounds like it's kind of what we do here. You might have a little more free range where you get out in there, because is it mainly all flats where you get out and walk? How does that work down there? Here, I mean, you really only have
flats
designated
with a
areas
few
that are going to
oyster
fall in a
bars.
pothole.
Very few oyster bar. Very easy wading, hard bottom, some turtle grass, sand edges,
Gotcha.
and it can be real good. Like I said, the red tide wasn't as bad as everybody painted the picture to be, so
I'm glad to
we're
hear
looking
that.
at a really good November, December.
I've heard it's been insane fishing down there right now. I mean, everything's it seems like it's thriving. So, and you can tell we're less busy here.
Our waterways are half the boat traffic it was last year.
Yeah, and I think it's just because that's how good the fishing is down there.
I honestly hope it stays.
Hey,
that
tell
way.
me this, you guys.
Yeah.
How was the first couple stone crab pulls for the crabbers up there?
From what I've understood, it was pretty decent. Talking to a local crabber, they were doing a lot better a little further south of here, getting into Tarpon Springs area. But from what I understood, Crystal River, Homosassa area is still producing good amount of crabs.
Right.
For their
That's
pull,
good to
they're
hear. I
anywhere
know
from like 400 to 600 pounds.
How are you guys doing down there?
Nothing like that.
Oh, really?
My big fish market, Walt's Fish Market, they bought some from a guy up y'all's way, Homosassa way,
Okay.
because his crabbers down here couldn't keep him stocked.
Dang it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Let's go
and
back
the
to the-
prices are just
Let's go back to that
Prices
full
are
moon
crazy
you were
now.
talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. The prices are definitely up on them, to say the least.
full moon.
Yeah,
Full
Jeff,
moon.
when you're fishing, how much attention do you pay to that full moon? I know, when you get a big full moon, it's a king tide and stuff like that, but sometimes it seems like those fish, when we've got a real big full moon, they're not really wanting to feed as good. I personally, and it's not every full moon, it just seems like specific ones, but I don't know if it's, I find when it's a really bright moon at night, you don't have a lot of cloud cover and stuff like that, those fish don't seem to feed as good. And I personally think it's due to they're feeding a whole lot at nighttime. What's your take on that?
Well, a commercial fisherman told me a long time ago, name was Bodie Boatwright. He told me on that full moon, he goes, you need to go out on those flats, them same flats you fish in the day. On that full moon, go out on them same flats at night and tell me what you see. And I've done it. My whole trick is it's got to be so calm that I can hear everything. When that wind's blowing, it's not the same. They don't hit the plug as good. But when you can hear all the sounds, go out on that flat. I'm telling you guys the same thing. On a full moon night when there's no wind blowing, and you just got to be ready for that. And see what happens. I've had some of the best fishing at like 3 in the morning. Everything's still slick calm and moon bright, throwing topwater plugs on everything. Snook, redfish, trout, stuff I didn't even land.
That would be mighty enjoyable.
And so basically you're saying those fish, that's what they're doing. They're feeding at nighttime.
Yeah.
And they're just getting their bellies full at night, and then when the day comes up, they're not wanting to fish as much. So go out at nighttime on those full moons with a slick, calm night. And when you're throwing those topwaters, is there any in particular color you're looking for? Or I've heard people say use a dark one.
So much.
It's the noise.
I don't think nighttime matters. I'd tell you the noise is what you want. I would use the big chug bug or the big spook or this new one I really like, the Berkeley Jaywalker 120. It's big and it's got a lot of rattles in it for the nighttime stuff. Now, slick, calm, early morning, that's a whole different deal. But that's just something that I've always learned. And the offshore guys say the same thing. They say, if you can go at night on a full moon, go at night, especially for them snappers.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it makes total sense. Those fish are a little more incognito to the bait pods themselves to be able to hammer them out at night.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I gotta clarify. I jumped off subject earlier. I thought you guys were already talking about the full moon. That what I was saying earlier is, after a full moon, if you notice, the incoming tide's always in the middle of the day. It's in the middle of the day, middle of the night. So I always tell people, don't worry about getting up early. Don't, those fish have already fed at night.
Yeah.
They're waiting for their next cycle to feed again. So if you're going to have luck after a full moon, go in the middle of the day. Go when it's hottest. That's when they're going to feed again.
Let them digest.
And Louie, did you grouper fish the day after the full moon? The day I went out with Brandon?
I did. So how my bite worked that day, a lot of times, some of us like to base our mornings off of that moon. So like when we're coming out of Shell Island, we'll look, you can see the full moon. As soon as that full moon drops over the horizon is usually when we're going to get our bites. Why that is, the moon disappears. It's because they've been feeding all night. They're not going to eat as much in that morning, and then all of a sudden, eventually they're going to have to feed again. Yeah. So as soon as that moon falls out, that's when that fish are going to feed, and that's exactly what happened. I didn't catch anything until 11 o'clock in the morning. 11 o'clock came, limit groupers, 4 spots.
I was going to say, because prior engagements, Brandon and I weren't able to get out that day, and we didn't leave the marina until 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now,
it blew in the morning anyways.
And I'm not anywhere experienced or anything like that, so don't hold me to this, but that was my best day of grouper fish I've ever had. The day after a full moon, middle of the day when it was the hottest. I mean, it was nuts. You get that stuff all the time. I see your social media and Twitter and Instagram and everything, and all of us look at it like, oh man, I want to see that every day. We finally got to see that, and it happened on a day that everyone tells you don't waste your time. Mm-hmm. But it happened middle of the day, towards the end of the incoming tide too. Yep. So
Well, that's another thing too. Especially with this grouper fishing that we're doing this time of year, it's really, really hard to do when that tide's rolling. So like a full moon tide, you have like 3 hours of what do I do kind of fishing. You have to fish shallower than deeper. Your weight's just rolling across the bottom. You catch it at the end of that incoming tide, that's usually when those fish are going to start to feed again, when it just starts to slow down just enough for you to be able to, fish comfortably.
I agree. Now, do you guys have anything else for Jeff on
Yeah,
signs?
I've got a question. Going back to, you were talking about those redfish in that tournament. You and your buddy fished there. When you said those fish moved, a long ways, how far do you think those fish? Now I know every part of the coast is going to be different, but how far do you think those fish will actually move overnight?
That's a good question.
Because heck, we'll be fishing for trout and we'll be catching 15 casts, and that cold front moves through, and my gosh, we travel miles in those creeks looking for them, and I'm like, where the heck have these things gone? So Jeff, how far do you think those fish will move overnight when one of those cold fronts come through?
Well, in my region, not that far, maybe quarter mile,
Okay.
half mile. But I don't even think a half mile, quarter mile or less.
Okay. Yeah, because that right there is going to narrow down for me where,
But that's moving and then maybe not liking where they stop. Moving, maybe not liking where they stop.
Okay.
And then eventually they ended up back in this basin and everything they wanted was in there. And they just stayed in there. It was pretty amazing. The other thing I need to say before I go is the wind plays a big part in our tides. Like before the cold front, when the winds are big south, you can almost count on you're going to have higher than normal tides. And then after the front, when she goes around northeast, you can add at least 6 inches, usually add 8 inches a foot to your normal low because of all that northeast wind.
So you add 6 inches to a foot on northeast?
Yeah, but leaving.
Yeah, no, I mean
Yeah, basically it's
subtract
negative.
is what I meant. When I say add, I mean add to the negative number.
Oh, okay. I got you. I understand.
I'm talking like, I'm talking scientific stuff now. Come on.
Tell me, he's the Albert Einstein of
I meant
science.
like
We tend to dry
let's say on the tide book it says at 7 a.m. it's a 0.8.
Yep.
Well, you can go ahead, or it's a negative 0.1. Well, you can add 8 inches of foot to that number.
Yep.
If it's been a hard northeast wind all night into the next day,
Yes, sir.
it'll be, instead of a negative 0.1, it'll be a negative 1.0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you can really learn some stuff. That's probably the biggest tip I give people. Let all the water blow out and see where you have water left.
Yeah.
And remember that, because it's still on those mediocre tides, it's still going to be a little bit deeper than that shallow stuff.
Sure.
Every couple of inches matter.
Fish will travel to it and use that stuff.
The areas don't sound, that different, right?
Yeah.
When we get a big, the reef is full of redfish, fall months, right? You get one of those super negative tides, and all of a sudden, that day too, the tide drops out, those redfish disappear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they move that far after talking to Jeff. And actually,
We're just looking further than we should.
yeah, Captain Rick Murphy pointed out to me too. We got on Google Maps or Florida Marine Tracks, and he was looking around. He said, Gary, there's potholes all around these islands. He said, but look at all this land that they have to go hide. It's not because they're going back in creeks. They're finding the closest deep pocket to go find water, and they're cruising the flats for bait. So, I think what we should do, Zach and Louie and Billy, we need to book a trip with Jeff
Oh, man, that'd be
for
awesome.
December, end of November. I really want to go do that wader fishing down there.
Yeah, twist my arm.
I was looking at a lot of YouTube videos last night after him and I were talking about it. It's a lot different than it. it's a lot different than here. I feel like you have more free range to go further instead of getting back in the boat, going to the next spot, then getting out. So let's get together, book a trip. Jeff, what's the maximum amount of people you'll take on your, was it a shallow?
If we go wade and shoot, we can load 4 guys in the boat with me.
All right.
That's what I'm
Cool.
talking
We can bring
about.
4 guys and wade, spread out all over the place.
Perfect. And best way to book a trip with you, which everyone's watching right now, trust me, guys.
Just my phone number.
Phone number.
I don't
There you
have
go.
all
That's what I'm
that
talking
stuff.
Keep it simple.
That's a Zac Zachry.
That's it,
kind
buddy.
of guy right there. So, and then Captain Louie, since you're on the subject of science, did you have any more questions for Captain Jeff? So, you got the science outfit on. I think
Cool,
that's a
tight.
science hat. There you go. You look super muscular.
It looks gnarly. I mean,
So we're in full swing of the science of fishing over here, Captain Jeff. Well, we're going to book a trip with you. I recommend everyone's watching right now, if you do one thing in your life and you love fishing, book a trip with Captain Jeff. Go explore another part of Florida you might not have fished before, or if you have fished it,
go explore a different
go
way to fish
explore
it.
it and go with one of the best out there. He's an entertainer. You're going to hear some of the best stories. And he's, like I said, the best fisherman out there. So, Captain Jeff, thank you so much for being on the show.
All right,
we
you
cannot
guys.
appreciate enough, but
It's great having you on board, Jeff.
yeah.
Thank you,
so,
sir.
All right, tight lines.
Tight
Yes,
lines,
sir.
brother. Thank you again. All right, so sweet. I think we broke down the science of fishing there. But Sean, we go into a commercial break now. Let's hit a commercial break, and then when we come back, let's talk some tackle on the Tackle Table Talk.
Love it.
When you want pre-owned trucks, you need Phillips Buick GMC. Trucks, and more trucks. Phillips Buick GMC has a massive selection of pre-owned trucks, all makes and models. Work trucks, 4x4 trucks, heavy duty, and even diesels. And if we don't have it, we'll find it for you. At Phillips, we'll even pay cash for your truck. Get an instant cash offer at PhillipsBuickGMC.com today. Shop the best selection in Central Florida at Phillips Buick GMC in Fruitland Park, just south of the Villages.
Shoot over to you. Hey guys, this is Captain Louie. Why do you do that every time? With Tackle Table Talk presented by Bush Home Services. I'm gonna make my little section pretty fast and quick. We're gonna get to something pretty big here tonight. Cold front, you moving into a cold front, everything wants to be, you want to downsize everything. Downsize your leader, downsize your hooks, downsize your jig heads. If you're fishing a 1/4 ounce, you want to go down to an 1/8 or a 16th. I like to fish with shrimp more than I like to fish with pinfish when it gets colder like that. Obviously, it got hot again, just like Jeff was saying. We haven't really had a true cold front yet. It's kind of what we call fake fall.
It was pretender.
Yes, very much pretend. It was a nice 3 days, but other than that, it was just some time to get some boat maintenance done. But like I said, once it gets colder, you want to use lighter line, smaller hooks. Something cool that's kind of happening in my neck of the woods right now is the mangrove snappers are kind of showing up really well after this full moon. The full moon really gets them together. They like to feed, maybe not right there in the morning since they've been feeding all night, but right there around noon, 11 o'clock is kind of when I've been starting to fish for those fish. That tide really has to be moving. But I've been using live shrimp with either a 1/4 ounce or 1/8 ounce jig head, long, maybe 6-8 foot leader, 20 pound. I've been using 14, really having to be really easy on those fish. But the biggest thing during cold front is to downsize everything. But the big talk for tonight on my side of things is going to be our new sponsor.
Yes.
New apparel sponsor.
New apparel sponsor.
Which
Now,
I'm going to say the name.
you want to say it?
I'm going to say it.
All right.
Even though everyone else has already seen Billy's shirt, my hat, some
can't
other
read it
weird
from
hat is
the
about to be showing up.
We've got one of the.
Marshwear is going to be our apparel sponsor for Friday Night Fish Talk for Ozello Keys Marina. For this side of Chris River, this is the best stuff. No matter what, I've been wearing it for about 2 weeks now, and I'm super excited about it, and we all are.
Yeah.
So
Gary, put a little more oomph into it.
a little more oomph.
Yeah, a little more oomph
Oh,
about
wasn't enough
Marshwear.
oomph
It
for
was
ya?
good. That was from the soul, though. I did like that. So, Sean, there we go. So,
Do it.
we've got
There's
our
some
model here, Captain Carter Wade. wearing the marsh wear. I don't know what those things called.
Makes them look a little less man-head.
Yeah, so if the fish, they put the camo on the bottom side because fish are in the water, so they can't see you that way.
And you can see they make plus-size hats.
Man head. Now, like Louie was saying, so we've been wearing this stuff for 2 weeks now, right? The reason why we haven't brought this up yet, is at Friday Night Fish Talk, we only promote stuff we believe in.
Well, that's it. And that was the whole fun part of it. It was getting to trial and error with it, see what we thought of it, and see if it was something we really wanted on our back.
Yeah.
Or head.
Now, to show you how much we believe in this, Billy, that's your first Marshwear shirt, right?
It is, yeah.
In front of everyone, have you had to buy a second one yet?
I have not.
Ditto.
Yeah.
This is my first one. This is the only one I've worn.
Have not.
Well, I had the other one I brought down to the Keys, wore that one. But if you all know Billy and I, we ruin every piece of clothing that we own.
In a quick.
It's got to be, I don't know. This is the nice, feel it, Carter. Feel it.
Yeah.
Nice, right?
Comfortable.
Comfortable. So it's the nicest fabric that I've ever put on my body. It's breathable.
Yeah,
but it's crazy how it works. On hot days, you feel cool. On cool days, you're like, man, it's nice and warm. And
the other cool thing you're really going to enjoy about that shirt, because I experienced it today, was doing our shrimp tanks. Cleaning the filters, literally getting misted the whole time. You pop your shirt, and it instantly just falls right off. You stay dry. It was the coolest thing.
Huh. So, and then, we have all kinds of stuff downstairs in the marina now. We've got the hoodies, the t-shirts. We're only putting a couple pieces out each week. There's a pair, is it a pair of shorts? It's a pair of shorts, right? It's because there's two pant legs. Okay, so Sean
just not a
verified
short.
It's called a pair of shorts for one. Don't understand. Anyway, there's a pair of shorts downstairs, Carter. You haven't seen these yet. They have redfish, like camo design. It is cool.
That's nice.
Yeah, very cool. They've got some winter wear that we're going to be getting in soon, but we have a huge selection downstairs. We're only going to be showcasing a few items each week. This is probably going to be my new, when I go to a wedding, something really formal that you have to wear one of these fancy button-up things. Yeah. Now, is this a tuxedo? Is that what that is?
Pretty darn close to it.
Perfect. It's just cool stuff. And, everyone wears AFCO. Everybody wears all this stuff that they preach pelagic fish. We don't have pelagic fish here.
No.
But we have marsh fish, and we like to wear marsh wear. So we are the only dealer, I think, within like a big region. I know Citrus County for sure, but it's a big region. And they really want to kind of take these items and put them in items that they belong. So if you want to stand out, at least for right now until everyone starts wearing it, if you want to stand out, come down, check out the stuff downstairs, different sizes. We're going to be getting new stuff in every week, keep it fresh. But Marshwear, we're super excited to have you. Really cool hat designs. I think everybody has said that they wanted this one that has seen it. So nice light. Really excited to have Marshwear here. So, Louie, what's your take? Oh, there we go. Yep, that Marsh hat. All right. Sean doesn't care about me. But yeah, so I tell you what, want to hit a commercial break. Oh, real quick, Bahio sunglasses. I forgot to mention this on the last show. They have officially came out with their RX prescription sunglasses.
Nice.
So if we've had
I knew we were waiting on those
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people waiting to get Bahios until they could get the RX. So they're officially out. They're ready for production.
That's
All you have
awesome.
to do is come into the marina. You pick out a pair, the frame and the glasses. Legally, we cannot sell a pair of prescription because it's medical.
Yep.
But what you'll do is you'll pick it out through us, and then we're going to give you a code that you will go on to bahiosunglasses.com, put that code in, and there you go.
That is awesome.
and then
That's
they
going to
go
be a
through
sweet
a-
upgrade to the fishing game.
Go through a doctor, and then they get shipped to you in a few days. So
Yeah. Be
You like
nice to
those
be able
pinks,
to,
right?
to see
oh,
while
they're
swimming.
awesome. Those made a big difference during that tournament too.
I love my pink ones. Rode them all day yesterday on the airboat. Got to see a monstrous grouper out there in the flats. I mean, it's pretty cool the distance you get to see with the pink ones.
For sure.
Yeah, that was my favorite take on the pink versus the green lens.
So they do. They go with everything, really. Pink does go with everything. I don't think there's anything it clashes with. Carter, what do you think?
I think you're spot on with that.
You heard him right now. So, all right, so let's go to a quick commercial break from one of our favorite sign maker out there, and all custom.
The sign maker.
Everything custom he does. Oat wraps. Yep. Saw you coming from miles away today. Fishing your spot. I loved it. Oh shit! Here it comes. Let's go to
Plugged in for 21 miles.
communication, Louie. We talked about the night before. All right, let's go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, Tyler is going to be giving away a free entry with a secret question to the King of the Bay fishing tournament.
Hey Gary, what you doing?
Oh, just going through the book, looking at some dash panels.
As nice as that sounds, what if we went and did something a little more custom? Do you know anybody that might be able to make a switch panel like this?
Let's go talk to Brian.
I think Brian would be a good idea for that.
Cool, let's go.
It'd be sweet.
Oh, Brian. Hey, man. What's up, brother? Got a cardboard cutout. Can you make it into something for me?
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right. What?
This is our dash panel complete. Just wanted to throw a huge shout out to Brian up there at Extreme Decalz. Nailed it. This is exactly what I had envisioned when I drew literally a cardboard cutout for this to become a true dash piece and showpiece at the same time. Thank you very much, Brian. I'm super stoked to see this thing on the water.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back with Tyler.
What's going on,
T
everybody?
Money. What is your official nickname? I've heard a lot of them so far. What's your favorite?
All right, so at Pete's they call me Panda. That's my go-to nickname up there, but everybody calls me Tyler T. Don't
Tyler
matter.
T. All
Whatever.
right. Well, your nickname here officially is T-Bone.
T-Bone.
It makes you sound mean. But
I
you're
like
like
it.
the nicest person out there.
I'll
so.
take it though. T-Bone, I'm with you.
T-Bone.
It's
Yep.
cool.
So T-Bone. All right. We've got the King of the Bay
Yep.
fishing tournament coming up. So redfish is the big one, right?
Mm-hmm.
What, $10,000?
$10,000 to first place of the combined weight of 2 redfish and 1 trout, or is, yeah. No,
One
it was
redfish.
one
One redfish,
redfish
two
and 2 trout. Sorry.
I love that, by the way. That I mean the
Makes it a little
mixing.
more.
Yeah, exactly.
A little more competition to it.
Yep. And then they added another species in this
Yeah,
year.
gag grouper.
Gag grouper.
Yeah, biggest gag grouper, $5,000 to first place there. $19,000 in prizes altogether.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, you guys over there at Pete's Pier, I love working with y'all. We get to be a part of this tournament. We are the official Ozello launch site
Yep.
and check-in site
correct.
for the tournament. So we did it last year. It was, I mean, it felt like you all did that tournament 10 years, 20 years.
I know, and it was just the first
flawless.
year. It was
Yeah.
great.
So this year, I mean, you've got hats
Yep.
this year. You're giving away one
Yep,
tonight.
I'm going to give one away tonight.
And an entry.
And an entry to the tournament for 2 anglers.
Valued at what? So 2 anglers is how much?
$150 for 2 anglers, and each additional angler is going to be $25.
Sweet.
Up to 6.
Now, Louie, quick question. You're fishing the tournament, I'm assuming, right? Are you going for redfish or grouper that day?
Considering we almost won it last year,
Uh-huh.
I think we're going to go after redfish and trout.
All right, so Louie doesn't have a mic right now. He said considering that Billy and Gary's fishing the tournament, he's probably not even going to enter. That's what he just said. That he's scared.
Sure, that's what I heard.
Yep. Oh, wait, what's that, Lou? He wants to know if pinfish or catfish is a species this year.
For you, Louie, it might be.
All right, good. You're going to have a chance.
You might have a chance.
Yeah, you guys, what, got second last year?
Yep.
And it was you and Tug? Oh, man. Are you guys fishing again this year?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you have a secret question. You've been thinking this all night. You know, we put you in the spotlight earlier and say, hey, by the way, come up with a secret question. It's about the tournament.
It is.
And I'm pretty sure they could probably find the answer on the website.
100% sure they can.
All right, so we're about to see your guys' website views go spike up here in a few
I love
minutes. Now, Jordan, are you ready to start writing now? All right, so the way the Wheel of Fortune works, Tyler, is you're going to ask this question, right?
Okay.
The first 14 people to answer this question correctly is going to get added on to the Wheel of Fortune. There's 14 spots.
All right.
And then you're going to be the guest spinner on it since you're giving away this the entry to the tournament. You got to give it a good spin.
I got that.
All right. Did Mario make a full rotation when he spun his?
I think it moved 3 clicks.
Yeah. So you got to give it a good spin.
I'll give it a good spin.
All right, Jordan's ready. All right, here it comes. Now, for this question, Jordan, so we are going to do it. It's 2 words is the answer. All right, we're good with one of the 2 words being the correct answer.
Yeah, either one.
Either one, because both of them are hard to spell. So, and as long as you're close, All right, Tyler, ask a question.
All right. So who is
Wait a minute, hold on. So, just to clarify, how many spots are there on the Wheel of Fortune?
14?
14. Okay, all right, good.
Okay. So
And then if somebody, never mind. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. The question is, who is the reigning champ? Who is the king from last year, our first tournament? That's the question.
All right. So who won the redfish portion
Yeah.
last year during the 2020 King of the Bay, the first one ever?
Yep.
Who's still holding that King of the Bay?
Who's the reigning champ?
Who still has the crown? Did he get a crown?
He got a pretty massive trophy. It's like his size, so he's a big
Wow. Yeah.
You say it's Jeremiah's size?
dude. It's a big
Dang.
trophy. It took him and Randy Sr. holding it.
So Zach, can we go over to Zach real quick? I want to show how red Zach's face just got.
I didn't even realize.
All right,
I
so
thought all night about that question.
man, when it hit Zach,
What happened? I don't even know what y'all were talking about. All I said is it's a big trophy.
It's,
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
It's a big trophy.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Now there's vendors for the event. The food last year was nuts. All kinds of food trucks and different vendors I saw. I think
Like
did
your
Will
live
and Willie
music?
end up signing up? Do you know?
I don't recall.
I hope Will and Willie signs up. His booths are cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they are cool. He puts a lot of thought into his vendor setups. He'll be here for the ho 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 fishing for dough tournament. So, what else
tournament
about
season.
that tournament while people are still answering these questions?
Well, you guys have a live band down there?
Yeah, we're gonna have live music, arts and crafts.
2-day event.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 2-day festival going on property the whole day. So
Big checks.
yeah, big checks. You're gonna leave your wives up there,
I can't wait to hold
have
one
them
of those
spend your
big
money while you
checks.
win it.
or the wives are going to lead the husbands there. We've got a lot of female anglers that are
You're right. You're right.
pretty well known
You're right.
and
My bad.
pretty good. And
That's very correct.
so, just watch your coordinates though.
They get blasted on social media.
Oh man, is that all 14? Oh, we got 3 more.
You guys had some really good food up there.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break. So, to ask a question again, who won last year's King of the Bay fishing tournament? 3 spots left on the Wheel of Fortune
you all
for a
have
chance to
Already
win.
got one hint.
An entry to the King of the Bay tournament and a King of the Bay hat.
That sweet, sweet, sweet hat. So, all right, let's go to Bush Home Services. Is it all filled up, Sean?
One.
Oh, one more?
Yep, waiting on one more.
Put Marina on there. Edith.
Edith.
Put Edith. All right, so the board's filled.
Who's
I
gonna win?
believe. Is it filled? Just
Yep.
all right, there it is. All right, so Jeremiah Carlucci.
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 Yep.
Is it Carlucci?
It's Carlucci, yeah.
But no T.
No T.
Carlucci.
Carlucci. Carlucci.
The king of the bay
Hey,
himself.
real quick, off the top of your head,
There it
pronounce
is.
Louie's last name.
Argiro.
It's not that easy.
Real quick. And that's why you left.
Tyler, give that thing a good whirl. Go ahead. There we go. Mario, I hope you're taking notes. Terry M.
Congratulations.
Terry M. Congratulations.
She's
Is
the
Terry
last one to be
watching?
put on the board.
Was she really? He?
Yeah, she was the very last one to get
So
put on
let's
the board.
confirm Terry's watching still. So you gotta watch this, or you gotta. I don't even know what.
Toss a comment in there.
Yeah.
There
Gotta be
it
there.
is.
There he is.
Congratulations, Terry.
Do you think they're gonna be fishing that boat? It's gonna be hard to get in the shallows on that one.
That's a grouper boat.
That's the gag division.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there
one
you
for $5
go.
grand.
Yeah.
There you go.
So now, quick question for: can you hire a guide to fish this tournament?
You can.
You can. Okay.
Yep.
I think all of them are fishing it.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody's fishing it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure they're all.
So Jeremiah was in it last year.
Terry, just come down and see us at Pete's Pier, and we'll get you all squared away. All right?
All right, Jeremiah. Did you or not Jeremiah?
Jeremiah.
Terry, did you hear that? Go see. Do they have to come see you directly, or are you guys gonna have an envelope or something?
Come down to the bait shop at Pete's Pier. Come see either me or Jeff, and we'll take care of you.
Starting Monday.
Yeah.
Give you guys a day to get it
Yeah,
all
Monday.
filled out and everything. So congratulations, Terry. Again, we'd like to thank Captain Jeffrey Page for joining us tonight. I'm telling y'all, go experience that man's fishing capabilities for yourself, and just get to enjoy a day with him. He's an awesome person. Captain Zach over there on the Ayinde State Farm. Hey, what about Catch of the Week? Yeah, let's do Catch of the Week real quick. Let's scroll through it.
Let's see who went fishing
I
this
was
week.
gonna say we can't skip
Been a
Catch
beautiful
of the Week.
week
It's
of
my
fishing.
favorite. Oh,
It has been a minute since we've seen a sheep on board.
big ol' sheeps.
Yeah.
That is
That's
awesome.
that front working. This is the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week, by the way. There he is. John with a nice snooker-rooney.
Very nice snook.
Josh O'Kane. He won the, no. I think he was runner-up for the Florida Marine Tracks. Rick won it.
Yep, Rick won that one.
And
Very nice little snook.
they came and camped at the campground, fished every day,
Yeah.
cooked Billy dinner. That kid, so he had a job here. His job was, so I had 3 pinfish stacked up, and his sister asked if she could clean my boat one night after coming in. Absolutely, I'm never going to turn that down. He comes up to me, what's my job? So I tell you what, buddy, you see those 3 pinfish traps over there? And I had them all stacked up. I said, I need the top one on the bottom one on the top, and the middle one back in the middle. And he went over there and did it, and he came up to me and just looked at me and said, shoot. So I got $1 out and handed it to him. The next day, what's my job? So
Well, my favorite part is when his sister's like, why didn't I get paid? It's like, you volunteered.
yeah, yeah. She said,
You
"Can I
asked me
clean
to
it?"
watch my boat.
All right. There we go.
A group
Kenny
out.
Dial, nice groupers.
Nice gags.
King of the Bay.
King of the Bay. Look at all those mangoes. Golly.
Mangroves.
Do you know it's, so I've always said mangrove.
Yeah.
And if you Google it
It's
on Wikipedia,
mango.
everything, it's
Yeah,
mango
Wikipedia, you
or
can put anything,
mangrove.
anything you want in Wikipedia.
But they're not against mangroves. They look more like mangoes than they do mangroves. And you typically don't find them in the mangroves.
I used to love that you hated when people said
Yeah,
mango.
but I started thinking about
Now
it. though.
Gary's that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy.
He's that
Thinking
guy.
about it. There's that,
your mangoes?
there's that 34-inch cobia.
Is that thing legal?
Yes, Billy. 34 inches. What do you mean?
He measured it to the tip of the tail.
Good boy, look at that big old red.
That's a sweet pick.
Nice sunset.
Captain Tyler Trudell, the beautiful redfish and the sunset. So, We did not have Brianna tonight.
Yep.
So she is recovering, and she'll be back next week. We're super excited to have her back. But Sean, great job, doing
Did
the whole shebang. Tyler came in to help Sean out, and then we threw together that stuff, and you and Bo, that was awesome, man. So
Anytime, absolutely.
thanks again, man.
Always,
Appreciate
it's
it,
a
guys.
pleasure.
Thank you for watching Friday Night Fish Talk. Captain Billy, Captain Zach,
Thank you.
Captain Louie,
Appreciate y'all coming on
Captain
board.
Carter stopping by, and then Rick and Laura and Jordan. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next Friday.
Fish on.
That was fun.
It takes like 45 minutes for this.